I'm Dr. Jonah Ampt. You love thatface.com. I'm a cosmetic facial surgery in Richmond, Virginia. I'm a teacher, an author, and a surgeon, and I do cosmetic facial surgery from here to here. I don't do boobs, bellies, or butts. Today, we're going to talk about the F word in cosmetic surgery. Now, not that F word, okay? It's going to be F for facelift. And I'm going to blend this into a very common happening in our office. So it's not uncommon that people come in for an evaluation and they say, hey doc, I've got this turkey waddle here, I've got all this skin here, and I have these jowls, but I don't want the F word, okay? I don't want to have a facelift. And so what we tell them is, look, that's the only thing that is going to make a natural, long-lasting, and aesthetic correction of those areas, okay? And unfortunately, some people fall prey to a lot of the hype that's out there about non-surgical treatments. Now, the situation is this. I don't want to ever talk negative about somebody else's treatments. And there's a lot of devices that heat the skin, that cool the skin, things you can inject to dissolve fat, threads for thread lifts, just a litany of conservative procedures that can be done to tighten the skin, okay? Do they work? So I'm not gonna, again, criticize things. I have friends that have minimally invasive practices, and they may treat an area and the patient may say, oh my gosh, I had 4 crow's feet and now I only have 2. I'm so happy, I love you. My patients would want their money back, okay? So it depends what you're trying to do. If you, and I've seen this so many times where patients come in, I say, you need a face and neck lift. And they say, well, I appreciate that, but I'm not interested right now. I see them a year and a half later, and they've had Thermage, they've had Ulthera, they've had Morpheus, they've had thread lifts, they've had filler facelifts, they've had Kybella, they've had all these minimally invasive treatments. And they spent more money than they would have on their facelift. And so now they're back to where they started, but they're in a financial hole. So again, there are a lot of people that make a living doing minimally invasive procedures, and I'm certainly not critical of them. But I think it's fair game to, what I tell my patients is this. Look, if you have this turkey gobbler or these jowls, and you go to somebody and they say, well, I have this device and I can tighten that, it's fair. Ask them to see 50 before and after pictures that are before and a year later after the procedure, and not company pictures, but their own pictures. And if they can show you a big difference, then I think it'd be, safe bet to do that. Unfortunately, most people don't or can't. Now, I have 10,000 before and after pictures on my website. And when people want deep plane facelift or eyelid surgery or facial implants or laser or anything else, they can see thousands of pictures on my website. They can get an idea what a result's going to be from the smallest to the greatest. So I think that people that promote minimally invasive things should be able to show you 50, 100 pictures of what somebody with your type of aging has before and after. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if they can show you that, then fine. Okay? So I think some of these minimally invasive things, they definitely do something. And again, my job here is not to put down that treatment or anything because I'm a surgeon. Because on the other foot, some people say, well, I'll never have surgery because you're going to look windblown and distorted. And that's not true either. And I just think what's important is to do your homework and see what you're getting into. If somebody has a device and they're promoting it and they're saying it's going to make a difference, then they ought to be able to prove that to you. So that's pretty simple. So back to the F word, okay? A facelift used to be a big stigma. I think it's less of a stigma now because it's become so commonplace. And I've done over 1,600 lifts. We do about 100 a year, and it's my favorite procedure. And, people say, is there anything else that I can do? And that relates to the previous conversation here. When I do a facelift, okay, so I'm wearing magnifying glasses and I'm bent over doing needlepoint, more or less, very precise surgery, for 3 hours. And if there was a device that did that and gave the same results, I'd have 10 of them, okay? And there just isn't anything else that is going to address the lower face from here to here for a decade of improvement and natural look with a single treatment other than a facelift. And if somebody comes up with something, then nobody is going to do facelifts. When the combustion engine was invented, people quit riding horses because it was superior. So hope this makes sense. And again, I'm not trying to vilify anybody that does non-surgical treatment. I'm just saying that more often than not, if you have significant laxity in your neck or jowls, then you better do your homework and not waste your money. The word facelift is scary to some people, and they conjure up these positions of distorted people. And again, if you're going to have a facelift, it's very fair to look at somebody's website and ask them, I want to see 100 of your before and after pictures. Well, if you look at my site, you can see probably 1,000, and other surgeons probably as well. So hope that makes sense, and we discussed the F word. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for the greatest gift of all, and that's your time. I'm Dr. Joe, and I am too. LoveThatFace.com.